Oh my God, what a nightmare it's been. This whole week has been very strange for me because we've been broadcasting from the Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work because Telmex is a shitty company, but we're not going to concern ourselves with that. Welcome to the Spotlight. This is episode number 20. And because we're using a new setup and new microphones and this, that, and the other, I would love to get your feedback before I introduce these lovely ladies. If you can hear us and see us okay. I'll be looking for your comments. Today it's going to be very exciting because we're going to talk to Teatro Sin Borders first about their upcoming production that has a name that I don't remember, but that's okay. That's what they're here for. And then we're going to talk to the wonderful, the amazing Carmen Porras, who is going to give us some show and tell about her most successful recent, not most successful, but very successful recent dinner featuring Puebla cuisine. And she's also going to talk briefly about her Mexican salsas course that is coming up. But first, let me introduce the lovely ladies from Teatro Sin Borders. Next to me is Sandy McDonald. Hi, Sandy. How are you?
Hi, Paco.
And of course, next to Sandy, we have the wonderful Pamela. Hi, Pamela.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys forgot to exchange the microphone.
Well, I'll get my turn to hog it.
Okay. Okay. Yes, you will have to do that. The reason you're holding a stick is not because it's kinky. It's because that way we won't talk over each other. Do tell us what's going on in the world of community theater in Puerto Vallarta. Sandy, what's the latest?
Well, the latest is that we are getting ready for our second season after having a wonderful first season with people loving it. And we are starting out with auditions because, as most of you know, or maybe you don't, the thing that is different about Teatro Sin Borders is that we are specifically interested in theater for the community, meaning that two things: a lot of diversity. Our most recent show was called Leading Ladies, and there were 8 characters, and half of them were Latino, and I loved that because it just, it just felt like, okay, it is multicultural, and we want to say that.
What is the most important lesson you learned from this past season? Just one. Because, and I'm asking just so you know, friends, Sandy is the founder of the company. She is the big producer. She moved here from Boston to get started after a very successful career in community theater. So she essentially started from scratch. What is the most important lesson from last year?
Just one, huh?
Just one.
Oh.
We don't have all day.
I think that the most important lesson was that we need to have committees to help us organize the various pieces of theater. It's not just about the actors. It's not just about being on stage. It's about marketing. It's about sponsoring. It's about, so we have done that now. We have got the committees that are working on all of the pieces of theater, including, and I think Pam will probably talk about this as well, volunteers. Volunteers. It takes a village to put on a play.
Pamela, what's your take on all of this? First of all, hello.
Hi, I love it here.
I know it's cold. We have the air conditioner going. This is not like out there.
Absolutely deluxe. I love it.
Um,
My take on it, well, number one, the name of the play that's going to be showcasing November 20th is Beware the House on Haunted Hill. So spooky. And so we're very excited about that because the characters are very big characters. The props and the sets are going to be hysterical, absolutely hysterical. And it's gonna be right at a timely period, you know, where we just come off of, Dia de los Muertos, Halloween. And so we'll have a lot of promotion during that time period. There's the ghosts knocking in the walls. Can you hear them? Oh, I just brought it up and they did that. But the important thing for right now and why we're going on so early is because we're starting the audition process. That'll be August 16th and 17th. And if you go to www.teatrosinborders.com, you will see.
Watch auditions.
Well, there's a big fat button there, Sandy, that says auditions. You hit that big fat button and it'll take you to all the audition information. And if you just indulge me for a minute here, because a year ago I auditioned and this was very funny. I had, you know, I heard, there's going to be a little theater group in our neighborhood. That's cool. Yeah. It's like I've been involved in theater on and off all my life. I taught comedy workshop for high school, and I ran an improv thing at my nightclub in Vashon Island. And so I thought it's been, 20 years, you know, before. And I've been on stage. I just run everything. I don't like get on stage. And I thought, maybe I'll audition for this. So I sent my funny little resume to Sandy, and I thought, I'll audition for this. And then about a week before the audition, I went, what the hell? There's probably like 25 mature women going out for this part who really have theatrical experience. And so I messaged them and I'm like, no, I'm not going to audition. And she sends me back an email. She goes, I'm very sad and disappointed in you because I really wanted to see your audition. I'm like, she's sad and disappointed.
You were great in the play.
So I went ahead and I auditioned. And, but, I didn't preface this. This is funny. Okay, so you know, everybody knows Zizi, right? We all know Zizi.
Well, not everyone knows Zizi.
Everyone in Puerto Vallarta knows Zizi Jordan, don't you? Yes, you do. If you don't,
Okay,
you should.
exactly. For context, because we have a lot of wonderful people that are going to watch this
Yes.
in all kinds of places.
Yes.
Who the frack is Zizi?
That's right. And well, I went to her singing class. This was before the audition thing. And there was a gentleman in her singing class, Dill Divine, and he and I just hit it off immediately. And he goes, I know this is going to sound really weird, but you know, I am an oracle, I'm a queer psychic, and I would really like to give you a free reading. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, that'd be great. So we have a reading, and he said, you know, what is your question? Because I just see all these pads here. And I said, yeah, well, you know, I've been in Puerto Vallarta. We moved here a year ago. I've had all sorts of crazy opportunities come up. I don't know which one to take. There's this audition thing. I don't know. And he's like, well, you know what? It's going to become very clear to you very soon. There's a black heart with a path clear to a big tree. He said something that's going to form a community for you. It's something that you're going to be able to branch out and go in a direction you've never been before. Maybe it's going to be all new, and you should definitely take that path. And I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. So then I got back to Sandy, and I said, okay, I'll go ahead and audition. So I show up at the audition, and I'm nervous, and John's like, oh, God, quit. You can do this. And who walks in? Dill Divine. I said, you told me I was going to be on the path, but you didn't tell me you were going to be on it. So Jill and I auditioned that same day, and we have formed such a, Teatro Sin Borders is the most loving community of actors and creative people. I have been involved with a lot of theater, and I have never seen a cast that is so affectionate, supporting, loving. And this is Sandy McDonald's dream. This is her dream, to create this community, this beautiful, loving, giving community. And you have an opportunity to be part of this. And if you don't take this opportunity, you're going to be very sad, because this is like, it's so fun. And
You know,
that's all
I just love your short, concise answers. I
did
just,
go around the park a few times, I'm sorry.
I just love it when you cut to the chase. Exactly. Well, I do have a question.
Okay.
What parts are you looking at? And do me a favor, my dear, get your microphone a little closer. I'm getting feedback from our audience that sound is coming in and out. There's nothing we can do about sound coming in and out or screens freezing because we are sitting here at the Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work, which has more internet than God. So I'm hoping this is just temporary and I will look at the quality of the video when I get home. But I appreciate the feedback that we're getting. Tell me about the parts or the type of people that you're looking for this play.
Okay.
And also tell us a little bit about what the play is about.
Okay, the play is about this wealthy movie producer who has decided to throw a party for his wife, who he really is not terrifically fond of, and at a haunted house, and to have a haunted house party. And the catch is, if the people invited spend the night in the house, he will give each of them $10,000. So, and then you have a creepy Pritchard, who is the house owner, who is the host, sort of, as well. And there's lots of adventures that ensue after that. But the main character is Frederick, and his wife is, and he's, middle-aged. You could go anywhere from 40 to 70, really, with Frederick. He could be anywhere in there. Annabelle is his somewhat fading movie star wife, glamorous. Fourth wife. His favorite fourth wife. And then you have Nora, who is actually a young ingenue posing to be a psychic expert. And then you have psychiatrist, Annabelle's psychiatrist, Dr. Trent. You have got Ruth, who is a hard little journalist who is full of snipey remarks. I just love her so much. Anyway, but there will be others. And then there's Lance. And Lance is a very young, very gorgeous star who is so narcissistic that it's absolutely hysterical. He's like, have you seen the way my cheekbones look today? Oh my God. Oh, were you talking to me about something? I was just admiring my hands.
Someone's been reading the script, haven't someone?
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of everything for everyone.
Yes.
Are you looking for people of specific ages?
I'll let Sandy answer that.
Well, if you go into the audition page
Mm-hmm.
and you look at, the dates and the times and all that sort of stuff, on the second part is a character list. It has information about each of the characters' personalities. It has age ranges, but it specifically says you don't have to be that age range. You just have to be able to look on stage that age range. And, hey, if you're a few years off, we can do lots of stuff with makeup and things like that. So, just, young, middle, old, basically.
Now, is this one of those plays in which you don't want to find out what happens at the end because you might get it spoiled? And if that is the case, should we even bother talking about the fact that there's a film version of it? And should people go watch it first if they want to audition?
Well, I guess we are suggesting not, because all of us have watched it. And we believe that the play is much, much better and funnier
Than the movie.
Than the 90 movie with Vincent Price.
Okay, so, if Vincent Price was in it, it's not a recent release.
No.
It's one of those black and white?
Yeah.
Oh, the director is whispering something. Oh, 1959. John is here, who's going to direct the play, right? Excellent. So you have audition. We're scrolling your information in the bottom of the screen. Let me see if there are any specific questions about the play from our audience. And while we're at it, another kind of feedback that you can provide us if you're watching this now or later on is I am under the impression that doing the spotlight this way in conversation might be something that you would enjoy watching better than doing it with remote connection. And also there might be some event producers and service providers out there that would rather just have an in-person conversation. Do let me know how this is working out for you, if this is good, if you like the other kind of interviews better, the remote interviews. What else are we missing?
Well, the end of the movie is not at all the end of the play.
Okay.
So if you do watch the old movie, you're not going to spoil it. The end of the play is really quite amusing. And the other thing is, this is set in the 1950s as well. The play is.
Mm-hmm.
So $10,000 was like $1 million. It was a lot. I know at one point Ruth says, "I can pay off all my gambling debts and buy a house." And it's like, okay, 10 grand.
Excellent. Anything else you want to add, Sandy?
Just that if you go in and you can look at the characters, and on the audition page, there are also the sides that we will be reading with for auditions. But as the other thing that is important is that we can do auditions. There's a sign up right online so that we know when people want to come. But the other thing is that we are perfectly able to do Zoom auditions for people that are out of town.
Excellent. Well, there you have it, folks. If you have it in you to participate in this play, you know about the auditions, but also keep in mind, as I'm sure Sandy will let you know on her webpage, there are a lot of ways to participate in a play. There is fundraising, set design, costume design, social media. Now that Teatro Sin Borders has established all these committees, this is a great way to get involved. And David is asking, can you audition remotely? I have a home in PV, but I'm in Dallas now. And yes, David, this question has been answered just now. You can audition via Zoom, and I'm sure that you should be able to get that information directly from Sandy once you get onto the webpage.
Just go into the form and fill it out, and it will ask if you want to do in-person or Zoom auditions.
Excellent.
And we will set up a time to do them.
Anything else, ladies?
No, I think we're good.
Well,
Come back again. This is just so preliminary.
this is your home. Every time you have something wonderful to promote, you know where to find me. I may even be at my home looking at you remotely, or we may actually set up shop here permanently. I'm not sure yet. I'll be looking at the feedback that we get. Thank you so much, lovely ladies, and much success with your audition process. What we're going to do now is I'm going to play you a short promotional for my upcoming presentation while we switch things around and get ready for Carmen from Oculto to join us. See you in a second.
Music appreciation presentation, Soundscapes of Serenity, will focus on the origins, evolution, and healing power of ambient music. Discover its rich origins, witness its evolution, and explore the profound healing power it holds. We will listen to carefully curated audio and video selections, allowing you to experience the soothing and transformative effects of ambient music firsthand. As always, we will enjoy this captivating exploration in a comfortable air-conditioned environment designed for your ultimate relaxation and enjoyment. Soundscapes of Serenity will take place on Thursday, August 8th at the Joint Boutique Hotel. As always, tickets are 300 pesos per person and available at the hotel's reception desk for your purchase. Seating is limited, so get your tickets soon. Hope to see you there.
Okay, we're almost there. Don't go anywhere. Don't change the channel. Carmen, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Carmen, are you freezing?
No, but
But you are. Okay, Lista? So we're back. This is for you, my darling. We're back. And of course, you remember Carmen, my dear friend and recent community partner. I want to thank you for joining Coffee and Headlines as a community partner. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Paco.
See?
Thank you, yes, for all you do for the locals.
Well, we have a good time doing what we do, and it's just fun. Now, tell me, how was your dinner?
And it sold out, and that was very exciting for us because the summertime is our off season, and it's a little bit harder to get folks to come out of their air conditioning at home and spend some pesos for an experience. So it was a very pleasant surprise to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, everybody was happy. We saw some people that had been to Oculto before, and we met new people also. And that was also great, so that they saw what we do. They saw how we roll.
That's wonderful. For those of you that don't know it, Carmen Porras and her wife Claudia run Oculto, which is a wonderful operation here in Puerto Vallarta that is not a restaurant, but it's a place where you can have a private dinner. It's not a culinary school, but it's a place where you can learn how to cook. So it's a fascinating, not a restaurant, not a school, where you can have amazing experiences.
It's a space where we give culinary experiences.
There you go. There you go. And Carmen was kind enough to share some photographs with me from her latest event, which had to do with cuisine from Puebla. Just as a quick explainer, there is such a thing as Mexican food. But if you start zooming in, Mexico has extraordinary cuisine in all parts of the country. And Carmen has been very generous by visiting us a couple of times and telling us a little bit about cuisine from other places.
Food scholars actually talk about Mexican cuisines in plural.
Oh, wow.
Because it's so wide and extensive and varied and different from each state and each region that they talk about Mexican cuisines.
Excellent. Okay, so this is the first photo that I saw that you sent us. What are we looking at here?
Well, the menu starts with 3 passerelle appetizers, and this one is the red chalupita.
Chalupita, which is like a small tortilla?
It's a small tortilla, and it's doused in lard with a red salsa and some pork and white chopped onions. And that's a very typical dish from Puebla. And there's many places that serve it, but by the Church of San Francisco, there's a whole place where there's many stands, and people go there and eat a few of these.
Wonderful.
You can have them green or red. They also serve other things, but they're very, very famous in San Francisco, in that area of Puebla City, the capital of the state, for those chalupitas.
Excellent. And then this is a close-up.
Yes.
Is it soft or is it?
It's soft and fatty, which makes it amazing.
Well, you just described me. I'm soft and fatty.
So yeah, that makes it better.
Okay, and then what is this?
That's the second appetizer. It's a soft taco of mole poblano.
Okay.
And chicken with a little bit of toasted sesame on top.
Oh, yummy.
Yes, and the chef actually used a specific recipe for that mole.
Uh-huh.
And there's about 18 ingredients in that mole. So,
18?
Wow. Some of the ones I can't remember. It's onion, garlic, tomatoes, and there's mulatto pepper. There's also probably pasilla pepper. There's plantain, uh, sesame seed, raisins, also some prunes, anise seed.
Bingo.
No, wait. Pecans, peanuts, a bunch of things in there.
So let's just say it's a good thing that we're not cooking this ourselves. And we had a lovely conversation about mole
Yes.
not too long ago. And
Yes.
Carmen actually told me that, one thing is to cook for an event or at a restaurant, but another thing is to cook at home. And I remember you told me at home, you don't make your mole from scratch. Okay, so the next photo, let me bring it up on the screen, is, oh my God, the Huauzontle.
The famous Huauzontle. So, Huauzontle, as you may recall, I have mentioned Huauzontles before as part of this type of food we eat in Mexico, which is called quelites. And quelites is an edible herb. It's not an aromatic herb, but it's an edible herb. And quelites is those little things around the actual cake that you see there that looks like a big ravioli, but it's not. And some people might say it looks like broccoli and it tastes like broccoli, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it's kind of this big. So
Yes.
it's not a giant ravioli. It's
See, so we made a big effort of cleaning them off the twigs so that people would have a nice dinner and not be fighting off the twigs away.
I'm going to put attention. I'm going to discuss this because I got all excited about Huauzontes because the way my grandmother used to make them this is a plant that has a very firm branches. Fibrous. So the way we ate them at home and the way I was hoping you would expand horizons to our English-speaking friends. No, but wait a second. Let me describe.
We do already. So.
You take the whole chingadera into your mouth like it's something else. And then with your teeth, you pull out the branch and you keep all the good stuff, but you decided not to do it.
Well, it's kind of...
You're a coward.
No, it's not about cowardness. It's about people being comfortable during their dinner and trying the Huauzontes anyway. The flavor was there, the texture is there. Less twigs were there. I did warn them about little twigs coming up. And everybody loved them. No, they're filled up with some cheese that is melted and then covered in an egg wash and fried. And then we serve it in that caldillo de jitomate with chile pasilla.
Yeah.
So it's a tomato brothy salsa and a little bit of pasilla pepper. Very light.
I love the fact that you say caldito de jitomate and not
caldillo
and not caldillo de jitomate. Anyhow, let's switch to the next photograph. Oh my God, look at that. A beautiful, sexy chile poblano en nogada. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Which should be eaten cold or room temperature, correct?
Yes. It's supposed to be eaten cold at room temperature. I've had them warm, and people used to order them warm at the restaurant at some point, and we did, please those customers. But you cannot actually taste all the great flavors that it has inside, and it's also a very baroque dish.
Yes.
And very elaborate. And there's plantains and pears and apples, also almonds. The sauce is made with nuts and requesón, and there's also some sherry wine in there. And it's an amazing stuff that with beef and pork with all those fruits. And it's a summer dish. It looks very Christmassy, but it's a summer dish, and it's served throughout the summer in the different states in Mexico. But it does come from Puebla.
So here's a question, and our friendship could be over after this.
Yes.
Cóctel de camarones, shrimp cocktail, cold or warm?
Cold.
Thank you. Thank you. I walked into a restaurant some time ago, and when they served me warm shrimp cocktail, I almost threw up. And I've made it a point ever since to always say, please make sure that the shrimp
I
cocktail.
was shocked when I first ordered shrimp cocktail here in Puerto Vallarta, just
Yes.
for a couple of other reasons. Too.
And it's a local thing. I don't get
It
it.
is a local thing, and I think it also happens in Nayarit. I'm not sure about Colima, but here in Puerto Vallarta, yes, it's served warm, and that shocked me. And it also shocked me it wasn't prepared with cilantro and onions and other things, that I had to prepare it myself. That shocked me. In Mexico City, they serve it very differently.
I know. I lived in Mexico City all my teenage years.
Exactly.
And now we have dessert. What was this?
That's a rompope flan. Rompope is similar to an eggnog made with yolks and eggs, sugar, and rum. And also that's the cookie. That's a Santa Clara tortita.
Mhm.
And it's basically a cookie that is very crispy and very fatty also. And on top is a fine toasted pumpkin seed paste.
Wow.
So it's also a colonial dessert, and rompope was also made in the convent by the nuns.
So these are old recipes.
Yeah, these are all very colonial recipes that evolved in Puebla. Yes,
This
with
is
lots
amazing.
of history, everything.
So the event was a success. It sold out, and you're doing it again.
We're doing it Saturday, August 10th again.
Saturday, August
For
10th.
people that could not attend July 27th.
Before I forget, I should have been scrolling your information, and now I am scrolling your information so that everybody or anybody that wants to find out about all the wonderful events that go on in Carmen's in Oculto, you can find out about it. So what's the date again?
It's Saturday, August 10th
Uh-huh.
at 7 p.m. And if you go to Facebook for Oculto, Puerto Vallarta,
The event is there.
You look for the events, and it's there posted on our feed and the events. And you look for all the information there. The menu is posted there, and you can click for tickets there and buy them online straight away.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
That's
Easy
wonderful.
peasy.
And you got great feedback from your summer survey. I was so happy to help you with that. And I'm so glad that one of the things that you're doing is you're expanding your menu of cooking classes. And can I say it?
Yes.
Yes,
please.
yes. Can I announce it? Carmen is going to have another amazing cooking class. And this is one in which you can become a salsa master. Tell us about Salsa Master.
Salsa Master is a cooking class that will focus on 4 different specific salsas.
That you can make at home.
Yes, you can all make
Easy.
at home. Yes.
Gringo friendly.
Yes, gringo friendly. It's easy to find all the ingredients in the States and Canada, probably. Here in Puerto Vallarta, of course. All our recipes that we give out are thought like that, So,
Mhm.
so that people can bring them back north and cook them back home and feel a little bit like they're back in Mexico for a little bit.
And you're going to come back to talk more in detail about this,
Yes,
right?
I'll be back next week and talk about Salsa Master.
Okay, it's a good thing we love you. I do have one question, and folks might be interested in this. It's not like you can walk into any supermarket and get a kilo of guauzontles. It's seasonal produce, and it's not necessarily very popular here in Puerto Vallarta because people don't know it. So I remember very clearly at some point, you sent me a message and you said, I found the guauzontles.
We're cleaning the guauzontles.
So why don't you talk, because I think people will be interested in hearing this. When you are in the restaurant business and you are looking for specific ingredients, walk us through the process.
So for guauzontles specifically,
And I hope you guys are interested in this, right?
that kind of edible herb vegetable that we have in Mexico, vegetables that we have in Mexico, is there's quelites all over Mexico. Specifically, guauzontles are from Central Mexico, that is to say Mexico City, Tlaxcala, Puebla, Estado de Mexico. they're not, but they won't grow here because they're different altitude and climate. You know, they're a little bit drier, a little bit cooler, so they won't grow here. So for that kind of specific ingredient that comes from somewhere else in Mexico, there's maybe about 3 or 4 companies in town that specialize in gourmet products. That is to say, imported products from elsewhere in the world, States, Canada, Europe, Asia, and also from other things that come from other parts of Mexico that are specialized. You know, so we call this one guy that we had worked with before when we had a La Rayan restaurant, and he has branches, I think, in Los Cabos and in Mazatlan or somewhere else, and he specializes in that kind of products for hotels and restaurants specifically. So I ordered in advance, they brought them, and then we started cleaning, and that took 3 people, Claudia, Regina, and me, about 2.5 hours to clean that bunch of walls.
I can believe that, because the Wapson place not only have the edible part, but they have a lot of tiny leaves, which are not as tasty as.
Oh no, the leaves! I saved some leaves, and I
Oh,
said
really?
to Claudia, I bet I can eat those. And I saved the leaves and disinfected them and everything, and then I sauteed them in the morning with a little bit of onion and garlic and a little bit of serrano peppers, and I had a beautiful taco of red corn tortilla with the quelites and some black beans on it, and they were just to die for.
Oh, really?
They were really, really good. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Breakfast of champions.
Breakfast of Mexican champions.
Yes.
No, I think it's really interesting, because do you get a sense that many restaurants in town go through a lot of trouble to look for ingredients from elsewhere, or just focus on whatever they can cook, what they can find locally?
I think because Puerto Vallarta has had international restaurants for such a long time, there's a niche for people to do business bringing other ingredients here.
Chingaderas.
Yes, some very specialized stuff, you know, for the Japanese restaurants, the Asian restaurants, the Mexican restaurants, French restaurants. There are specialties, distributors for that. It's not that they have a regular store that is somewhere in downtown, but, you know, you can find a bunch of things now that you couldn't find maybe 30, 35 years ago here, you know, for sure.
Are we missing anything?
No, I think that's it.
Well, Carmen, it is always a pleasure. And it is so, what I love about what you and Claudia do is that it's very similar for what I try to do with my music appreciation presentations. I mean, I have this appetite for music that is similar to the appetite that you have for rescuing and promoting authentic Mexican cuisine. So,
see, more than rescuing, we try to recreate dishes and to adapt them to our, our public, our customers.
Nuestros clientes.
Yeah, no, it's not about rescuing. It's more about trying to recreate, you know, and showing people what Mexican cuisines are about, and getting a taste of other things that are mostly not available in Puerto Vallarta. And I know we're cooking things that nobody else is cooking in Puerto Vallarta right now. That's for sure.
I know that because we've been in touch and all that stuff. Friends, if you're watching and you are here, please consider attending one of these public dinners. Or if you are here with a bunch of friends, remember that Oculto will put together an amazing private dinner for you and your best friends. And it's such a pampering experience, because you have as many as 15 people, right? 16 people, and you have a chef and a sous chef and a bartender and 2 hostesses that are just absolutely spectacular.
It's our passion, definitely.
I know that. Carmen, thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to learning more next week about the salsas. I'm seeing some people that know you. Betsy Ann says, hi, Carmen, looking forward to Puebla, my love.
Yes, Betsy Ann, thank you. She just bought 3 tickets. She's coming on the 10th.
And Albert is shooting himself because he's very happy. He just got his Mexican permanent residence, but he goes back to the United States like the day before. Then I know.
I'll change your ticket. Change your ticket out.
I know. That's what I said. And there's other comments. Sherry says everything looks delicious, and it is so wonderful, everything that you're doing. So before we go away, and just indulge me for a second, again, if you have been watching the Spotlight on a regular basis, this is a new way to do it elsewhere and do it in person, bringing in guests in person. I look forward to hearing your comments about this experience, whether this is something that you'd like to see more frequently or maybe even permanently. So I'll be reading your comments after the broadcast and in the near future. In the meantime, please remember to tell any of your friends if they're looking to promote a product or a service, or if they have a kick-ass event coming up that we shouldn't miss. It's free. It doesn't cost 0 pesos. So keep that in mind as we say goodbye, and I hope to see you again soon. Tomorrow morning, Coffee and Headlines, and next week back on the Spotlight.
Thank you, Paco.
Thank you for watching.